I think we're live. So I am testing here at GoodWood. I have changed some settings both in the CSP and with the car. This is a car setup that was given to me by Sauce, which I really like. It's a combination of looser and while being stable. And what I really like about it is when you lift and just drag the brakes, it starts the rotation or the turn in to the corner really nicely. So I'm going to get some practice with it. I ran a 132.4 last night with this. Best I've been able to run today is like a 33.4 or something like that. So I don't know if that was a one-off but it was after a couple hours of driving. So yeah, it was a lot of fun. But let's get to it. I'm probably not going to talk a lot, but because I'm just focusing on what I'm doing. But I figured if you guys want to watch, and I don't know, throw a comment in down below or whatever if you see something I'm doing, let me know. So let's see what we can do here. For those that are interested, I run a complete Moza setup, which I should do a video on that sometime. That's a very interesting topic in and of itself. I used to run, I had a G27 and a G29, both excellent wheels, but for reasons, I ended up going with Moza. So when I was looking for a wheel, Fanatec was going through rough times, and I wasn't too confident in how they were going to come out of that problem. So I did some looking around, and I really liked what Moza had to offer in the reviews, and I am incredibly happy with it. I would recommend it. I'm running an R12 base. I have an all-metal set of pedals, which I don't think they sell anymore. And yeah, trying to talk and drive is not my strong point. But no, it's been good. And like I said, I should do a full review of it at some point. But anyways, let's now concentrate a little bit, which means I'm probably going to spin off in turn one here, but let's see what we can do. Turn in early. Try not to slide. Ooh, it's going to push me out. Let's saved it. The white sign here, lift and just drag the brakes. Get a little rotation. Saved it. Hard braking. I shouldn't go to second here. Third is faster. But we'll let the tires sort of semi-equalize. For those that aren't or don't know the car, this is a Formula Ford. The tires are very hard, so grip is at a premium. And once this thing starts to go, very difficult to bring it back. But really challenging, fun car. And the way I have this set up, alright, not the best lap in the world, but I'm just going to drive a little bit here. See, it wants to push out there. I don't hold it in, and that's on me. I need to concentrate more on that corner. You kind of go into panic mode. Turn in early, keep it turned in. Yeah, see, that works good. Now lift, turn, get the rotation, and go and brake. Back to third, you can roll it. This car has good low end torque, and don't get it sliding. Listen to your tires and try not to have them squeal because you're scrubbing speed. Brake just beyond the white there. Sort of sail it in, hit the apex there, out a little bit, keep braking and bleeding speed, turn. Yeah, I can't say that quick enough. Brake, come through, and that is going to be a 32.6, somewhere in there. Alright, now go. Yeah, I think that was better. Yep, I'm up 4/10. 5/10. Turn in a little slow. Hit that apex. There we go. Perfect. Look for the white sign. There it is. Lift. Get the road. Whoa, too much rotation. Saved it. And brake hard. Except I'm not saving that one. It's amazing how fast it can get away from you, but that's why you practice. You learn what you can and can't do. I carried a ton of speed through that kink in the straightaway, and it's sort of like a multiplier. You hit a couple of turns right, and the next thing you know, you're really hauling the mail into the corner that you need to brake for, and that is what happened there. White marker, lift, downshift. You kind of float it in, keep lifting, keep feathering, touching the brakes. Floated it a little too wide. Dirty tires. Well, this is why we practice. Third, see, I wasn't paying attention. You have to pay attention there. I'm like, just daydreaming. Yeah. It's all about the details on this track. It's a super easy track at 9/10, but try to take this at 10/10 and it bites you. Pretty good head of speed here, so lift a little earlier, get the car rotating. Here we go. Yeah, see, much smoother. Slide it out, but go throttle. Much better. Brake to third, sort of float this one. This is a deceptive corner because you need to overslow because it lets you get on the brakes, get on the gas that much quicker. So you can back up your straightaway probably 4 or 5 car lengths at least. Float it in. Float it. Yeah, that's good. But what I was saying is that, you know, it's all these little details. Backing it up 4 or 5 car lengths, that maybe picks you up a 1/10 or 2 or 3. And then this corner here, you get the braking point right and keep it sucked in and down into third. So you brake, keep it sucked in third. Don't let it tempt you to go to fourth. And really nail that apex and go. and, you know, maybe that's a tenth. And this one here, by turning in early and not scrubbing, no tire noise, maybe that's a tenth. This one here, you just panic. There's no, but you get that right like that. Again, no scrubbing of the tires. I don't know if you can hear it in the recording here, but, and again, this one kind of flowed it, but it's over slow. Turn in and on throttle before you are even at the apex, and try not to have it step out and scrub, because you want forward propulsion. This one, you kind of can't see the brake points until you're right on them. It's tempting to try to add a lot of gas between those two little corners, but you'll miss the last one if you do. What's this? What's this? It's a 32.7? Yep, a little faster. So brake, hold it in tight, now go. Lift, go. I wonder if I could just drag the brakes there instead of lifting. Probably should try that. Signs start to turn in, just ease it in. Oh, I might have missed this. Nope, I got it. There's the sign. Lift, stab the brakes. Oh, I'm hauling into here. Yep, see how fast I was going? I nailed that corner, and my brake point's usually at the white sign on the right, and I was going way too fast. I don't want to call it's the term that comes to mind, but I don't think it's right, is force multiplier. I think speed multiplier maybe. And that you get a couple things right, and the next thing you know, your speed is multiplied. And you're like, and then you gotta back up your brake point a lot. This is probably the most finicky corner of them all. I probably give up the most time through there. Second gear, sort of roll it through, don't overcook it. I've crashed there. Brake, hold it there, now go. That was pretty good. I don't know. Start turning in, get it right at the apex right there. See, lots of room if you do it right. I am hauling, so if I get this right, a little wide, but still pretty good. And now brake a little early. And, oops, snappy, got it. Yeah, I broke a little early and turned in too soon. But these are all lessons. That's why I'm pushing this so hard, is because I can, it's not a race, it doesn't matter, and I'm learning all the things that essentially can go wrong when you start stepping over the line. So when it comes to race day, I'll know what those are and hopefully not do it. But yeah, easier said than done. Ugh. I mean, it was a 133, which wasn't horrible. Oh, I'm way out. Save it. Alright, go. So I shifted to fourth in roughly the same spot, so not bad. Save it. Nope. we're gone. And that's the thing. You miss that turn in. That turn in at the white sign is hugely. You don't think you should turn in there, but obviously they put the sign there for a reason. I would assume that's there in real life, and well, you can see what happens. But yeah. Anyways, it's a lot of fun. Muted my mic there. Got a drink of water. So let's do it. I'm going to do something over here. A little note. I don't know how people do this. I have a very wide screen, because you guys can see because of how it shows up on YouTube. I'm running a G9, and the thing is I have a it's an LG 27? Maybe it's a 32. I don't know. I bought it used, and it's a 2K monitor. I like it a lot, but I use it as my secondary monitor, which is where I use OBS from. And I have found that when you're driving and you have OBS up on your screen next to you, which is showing you what you're doing on screen here, it's very distracting. You will keep like glancing over because you'll see a car or you'll see something out of your peripheral vision that tells you to look over there because you think it's part of what you're doing, which is funny. But I was going to do something. What was I going to do? I don't remember. Anyways. If anyone's interested in hearing more about sort of my background or with sim racing, I could do a rather in-depth video on that. The short of it is I've been sim racing since the late 90s. I started racing online. I don't remember, I bought a piece of hardware, and I've always been a car guy. But I think I bought a piece of hardware, or maybe I bought a graphics card, like a Voodoo FX or something like that. I don't remember. But in it came a copy of Sports Card GT, and I played the living bejesus out of that game. And still to this day, I still have a copy of it. I bought it used off of eBay, I think, a while back, on CD, and it still runs, even on the modern computers. And while the graphics are obviously challenging, the feel of the cars, the physics, while rudimentary, I still love them to this day. There's something about it that is just, I got a break earlier there. There's something about them that's always stuck with me, and I haven't played it recently, but every once in a while you throw it in, and nostalgia. In terms of other sim games, obviously I played all the NASCAR games, IndyCar games. Never got into the Formula One sims or games, depending on what you want to call them. And that's actually something that would make an interesting video, is what's a sim and what's a game? And I don't think that's an easy thing to define. I have some ideas on it, but it's I think it's also a personal thing. I think a lot of people, me included until I actually thought about this, a lot of people say they're running a sim, but when you expand out to other games and you start sort of realizing what the sort of, just how sort of fake and video gamey they are. And I understand why they do it. As you guys can see, talking and driving is not my strong point. But to finish that, the makers of these things, obviously their goal is to sell more and for people to have fun. And if something is very hard, even though it might be relatively realistic, it's not going to sell nearly as well as something that's more arcadey and, dare I say, a little easier. They'll sell a lot more of them because kids will tell their friends, hey, it's, and on it goes. But, so anyways, back to what I was talking about. I went through all the NASCAR games and IndyCar games. I still have a lot of those. Papyrus was king of the hill for the longest time. And I still have a lot of those boxes with the CDs in them. I think I have some with discs. And sometime around, I don't remember when I discovered it was when we got a PS3 in our house, maybe a PS2, and discovered the Gran Turismo series, and we had so much fun. And then I discovered a group of racers on a local web forum, and that was the beginning of 16, 17 years of continual racing. With the group has changed, new people, old people, but that same group is we're still going at it, and we went through, I think, Gran Turismo 4, 5, 6, and then they tried to go to Project Cars 1, which, I'm out of gas. Tried to go to Project Cars 1, which I wasn't a big fan of, but then Project Cars 2 came out, and that was a game changer. That was absolutely fantastic, and we had a lot of fun with that. Weekly, we were running 2 series, a Wednesday night and a Sunday night, and we would have 15, sometimes I think even up to like 20 people show up. I mean, it was a lot of fun. But then they killed the servers. And we got sick and tired of buying new copies of the games and everything. And we switched over here to what you're seeing here, which is a set of Corsa, the original one, which I highly recommend to people. I'm going to make it back to the pits. Am I going to get gas? I might. Oh, get in the pit. Don't die right short of it. Yep. Can I get gas? Let's see what we can do here. Will it let me? No. It won't let me. Can I touch it with the mouse? No, it won't let me. Anyways, back to pits. But as I said, we went to, at least it was, trying to think back, maybe 4 years ago, 2021. I didn't know how to run a server or anything, and I hadn't really heard of Assetto Corsa, but one of the guys who I raced with was like, let's do our own servers, and Assetto Corsa really was the best for that. And that way we take the control of the server out of other people's hands, and I used to run it on computers and several other computers, and currently I'm running it on a tiny little HP, what is this thing called? It is the HP, it's an Elite Desk. tiny little thing. It's about the size of 2 paperback books. Obviously, to run a server, you don't need a graphics card of any kind. And I picked this thing up used off eBay, and then I upgraded a little bit. I added a second M.2 drive, a big one to use for sort of backup storage of all the cars and stuff. And originally I was going to try to set it up using Linux. There are setups and whatnot to run the Assetto Corsa server stuff on Linux, but that's above my pay grade. So I ended up, after wrestling with that quite a bit, having a dual boot setup and a bunch of stuff, I finally said to hell with it, and I installed Windows 11, I think is what it's running, and it just runs. This little box just sitting here runs, I want to say it's only 35 watts when it's under max load, which is way better than, you know, a full fat computer. And it works. Upgrading to it was better. Everything runs better. I don't know if it's a fresh install of Windows 11 or what, but we used to have some lagging. I think one of the improvements was the ports on the back. I think I was wanting, what is it? You have 1 and then 2.5. Is it gigabit per second? Something like that. I think the old machine was only only 1 gig network ports, and I think this has a 2.5 on it. So maybe that helps. But it's been rock solid steady, and it's what we have all our races on. But you know, I am by no means an expert. There's many games out there that I haven't played. Wow, is it just me, or did the lighting change? I am old school. I do not like the whole subscription model to stuff, so henceforth I have never tried iRacing, and so I can't comment on it, good, bad, or otherwise. I've heard a lot of good things about it. Forza is another one. In fact, I own the game, but don't think I've ever played it. So, I mean, there's just so much stuff out there. I am far from an expert. I've been playing sim racing for a long time, but I tend to stick with a game and drive the bejesus out of it. I did that in the early days. And, I mean, with all the content, all the tracks in Assetto Corsa, even though it's a 10-year-old game, I mean, I'm still finding new stuff. And then the updates that have been done by the modding community to it is just, I mean, it's, you know, maybe you guys can see in what I'm seeing here. Is this modern graphics? No, it kind of still has that Papyrus feel to it. It's not like if anyone's like the Armor Reforger or some of the modern games, but it's darn good. It's absolutely playable. So, yeah. Anyways, I hope you guys don't mind me just rambling, sort of a conscious stream of thought on stuff. Oh, yeah, the tires. I know the tires, if you're looking down on the bottom of the screen, you see the tires, and they're blue and green and everything. This setup definitely does not like... The setup is happier after you've done a lap. Seems to have better balance, better turn in. But anyways, I'm gonna probably not talk as much now. Again, if anyone sees this and has any comments, be my guest. I'm no expert. I'm just a guy having fun, like sim racing. It's interesting coming in here. I always feel like I'm underdriving it through there, but right, I got up into fourth before the apex, which means I'm going to be hauling the mail down here. Oh yeah, we're moving. A little earlier, drag the brakes, turn in, slide it, brake a little bit earlier. Don't, and I made it. Just beyond the first marker. Turn it in and go. Now you want to ride this out a little wide because you're going to need to turn in there. Yeah, that's not how you're supposed to do it. Yeah, like I said here, I really need to practice this because I'm underdriving it, but you have to sort of float it in and just kind of glide it in, and more brakes, and just you really feel like you could carry more speed, but man, I've tried and you end up just plowing right off the outside of the track. You think everything's good till you get to the last apex and then you realize, oh. So here, right at this here, brake, downshift. Whoop. That didn't work. I gotta do that a little better. I think I need to brake. I think I need to brake longer and then downshift. Alright, so as I was saying, float it out wide because you're going to have to come back in to make that corner, which I didn't do too well, but if you try to hold that tight, you're going to push out wide on the second right-hander there. And brake. Float it, brake, 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 gas, brake, sort of dance it, and that was slow. 34. Eesh. Alright, let's brake a little earlier, then downshift. Alright, that's smoother. And go. Yeah, way before the X I shift. So I'm going to be moving up here. Turn in slowly just to come in on it so you don't push off this outside edge. And you're not scrubbing. There's my mark right there. Slide it. Good angle and hard brake. Again, brake to third and just kind of roll it and go. Bring it into the apex right there. No scrubbing. Ooh, I'm up 4/10, 5/10. I'll give it away down here. I usually do. Brake, downshift, sort of float it. Do the dance of gas and brake. Don't fly off the edge. Good. Now brake in second. Don't hit that curb. And 32.1. Yeah, that's fastest lap today. Wow, I shifted way before the X. Alright, this is going to be interesting. If I can get through this without scrubbing, I'm going to be really moving. Oh yeah, we're hauling. Brake a little early. So we'll try to roll it. Yeah, but I'm still slower. I did it better last time. I think it's because I broke more for turn one, maybe. I felt faster, but the numbers don't lie. I'm 5/10. I'm a half second off my last lap. And I lost it all in the first sector. That felt better, but ooh, overslowed. Yeah, no, I'm almost a full second slower on that lap. And there was nothing really crazy. That's the thing. I'm going to try this one. I'm going to try to roll this a little bit better. Alright, I'm 7/100ths down. A little snappy. Go. Can I hold this tight and still make this? Yeah, see, that side comes up pretty quick. I'm only a 1/10 off. See, now I'm 2/10 up. I'm losing time, though. Slowly losing time. Nice and slow. Don't slide. Just roll through like that. Easy braking. Don't slide like that. Damn. Alright, well, that one little slide, I'm now a full second slower. Hey, who's here?
Because I'm something.
Is that Game Boy?
Yeah.
What are you up to? I'm talking my way through this track. Oh, I discovered something, Game Boy. I discovered something. Hang on a quick second here. I think I'm gonna oh, yeah, I was all right. No, I'm not gonna worry about that. Anyways, I discovered something. Another thing in the CSP that might help you. I found it helpful.
What's that?
If you go to the CSP, and it actually came out of me testing Sauce's car. For his car, you have in the extensions in FFB tweaks. There is the output real brake pressure from pedals setting, and normally it's not active, but if you activate it and then adjust and then you can make adjustments to it. And I can't exactly explain like how it works, but it feels like what it does is when you have a car that has an exceptionally sort of narrow braking, like it's either on or off, if that makes sense, like Sauce's car was, it takes that range and it stretches it out over your brake pedal, and you can then adjust that, how far it stretches it out, to sort of expand the range of your braking from no brakes to full pedal. And playing with those adjustments not only obviously made Sauce's car really good, but I left those settings in and drove this. Oh yes. Oh yes. I shaved 2 seconds. I was in the 34s, and by fiddling around with that adjustment, it really has helped make the brakes it takes all the weird twitchiness out of the car. You know how it sort of does that dance?
Yep.
Yeah, that's all gone.
Might have to try that. Mine doesn't dance as much because I have the super safe forward bias, so I can use the brakes really hard.
Try this. Take whatever your setup is. Take your move your brakes to 50/50, and then I'll give you my FBB tweaks in CSP. If you go to settings, CSP, go to FBB tweaks, and then go down to the second from the bottom. It says output real brake pressure from pedals. Click. Oh, I should unclick that. That needs to be unchecked. Click active, and then the pedal pressure's over here. I'm running roughly around 33 on both. It will vary a little bit from pedal set to pedal set. Sauce runs his closer to 50 because he's running a Fanatec. I'm running the Moza, so mine works better. I had to turn mine down further, and you can tweak that. You can tweak that if you still find yourself like going into ABS or going into lockup, you can pull those two sliders down a little bit. Probably don't want to move it more than like 3% at a time, just to give you an idea of the sensitivity of it.
So the second one, max percentage.
You run it the same, or as close as you can as possible, roughly the same.
Max 100%. So should I put it at 30%?
Yeah, bring it down to 33%. I'm running at 33. What wheel are you running?
I got a G29, so very soft brake pedal.
Try. I mean, I'm running 33. Try it and see if you might want to boost it up a little bit. I don't. This is where you're going to have to. Those two adjustments, you're going to have to tweak it to your your likes. But I really like it. It essentially what you're doing is I think you're evening out the brake force over the range of your pedal. I think that's what these settings do. I don't know, but one of those things I sort of stumbled on.
So I got that on. I'll try 50% bias, which would normally make it make the rear one overtake the front.
I run 50/50 with ABS. And
yeah, I tried that, and it was powerful, but it was much more unstable than 59.
Oh, all right. Well, I run 50/50, and then by tweaking these things, my brakes are rock solid. I mean, it's really nice. It could be some of the setup. Like I'm running, I've been playing around with this thing, and I'm. Short answer is I played with stiffening the front end up a lot, and which obviously should make the car plow more. But then I adjusted the rake angle to make it a little looser again to bring I brought the balance back with the rake angle, and yeah, Sauce and I were mucking around last night, and we were.
Yeah, it definitely helped. So at 50% with those settings, it feels more like 57.
Yeah, but
it's a little bit of movement.
Remember, you can adjust those settings if you want to soften it up some more. Drop those settings down a little bit. You know. I think lower because Sauce runs like 44 and I'm running 30. I'm running 33, and I like it. Just remember you have it on because, like, on other cars in the game.
You have to turn that back off with the others.
Well, on certain other cars, it doesn't work. It helps with some cars, and other cars, it doesn't work. If you have a car that works well without it, if you turn it on, you will go to instant lockup. If you have a car that has instant lockup, you can turn that on and make those adjustments and get rid of that. I don't understand why. But it just sort of, I don't know, it made my braking more stable. It got rid of all my
yeah, it definitely makes it a lot more stable.
Under braking.
I bet if I put this to like 53%, it'll be just as stable as 59 was before.
Whatever, yeah. I mean, whatever works for you. But I found it to be literally a game changer. I was really surprised at the difference it made.
I noticed if you brake with a little turning though now, the brakes make it want to like cut inside to turn harder.
Yeah, oh, see, I don't see that's one of the things that I got that I like about this is that if whatever direction you have your wheel turned a little bit, when you apply the brakes, it tends to initiate turn in and rotation more, which I like because, well, I like it.
Useful.
And and I think it's part of the CSP and not this braking thing, but I think I like having it so when you lift and turn the car, you actually have steering when you lift.
Yep.
and you don't, because like before I made these changes, you could get more rotation in the car, but it wouldn't change the trajectory of the car. You know, it's, oh great, I'm rotating. It's all it's going to end up doing is I'm going to go off the corner backwards instead of forwards. Whereas with these changes, it seems to both, you know, the CSP changes and then adding these brakes to it has seemed to made it a lot better. Like how I actually want my real race car. It actually how I try to set up real race cars like this. We did all sorts of gear testing last night also.
I finally overdid it with the steering.
It will eventually get you.
I'm going to try like...
This track is an exercise in precision. It's super... Oh, I'm out of gas again. Wow. Ran out the exact same place, too. Wonder if I can glide all the way back in while I'm doing this. Arrow keys? No. Is it arrow keys to bring up the...
Yeah, it brings up the pit menu.
No, I'm not getting it.
It should.
Huh.
Have you assigned arrows to D-pad on the wheel by any chance?
I don't think so.
That's what I actually use.
Oh.
I haven't tried.
Oh. What the hell? Hold on.
I was at a track. I was at a track day today, and I pressed my button to look back, and it wasn't there again. Oh man! And first lap out, immediately went out, and some guy in a Volkswagen just spun off right in front of me and spewed grass across the whole track. And my brakes were cold too, so I was hitting the brakes, and it wanted to go a couple different directions.
Oh, that's always fun.
What a disaster video-wise, though. I hadn't got no sound for 3 out of 4 videos, and then the last one, this track always gives me trouble about having the camera on the outside, and I show them the tether, it's NHRA compliance, and they're like, okay, but this time they're like, no, you can't run that, so I tried to rig up some helmet thing, and mainly looked at the steering wheel. Gotta make a proper helmet mount.
What did I say? I said I had mine set at 35, right?
You said 33, I think, for the CSP brake setting.
Okay, because I inadvertently changed it. 35. God, it is so touchy. 30. Okay, I can do it. I can do it with the arrow keys once you click on it. That's helpful. So I'll put it at 33.5. And then if I click on this... 33.5. Alright.
I turned the bias to 53, and it still does the same thing, but it's a lot more controllable.
Yeah, it's not... I mean, it's not a... You know, we're not talking... Like, all of a sudden the car becomes a GT3 car, you know? But it does... I don't know, it just seemed to make the braking a lot less... Or maybe more predictable?
It does make it a lot more stable for sure, because it used to throw around under braking.
Yeah.
Anywhere close to 50. Ooh, it's a lot better now.
I gotta really learn at the end of the second straight. don't know what you call that straight, but the end of the what I call the second straight, because there's the front straight, the second straight, and then
water perhaps,
and then the back straight. But the end of what I call the second straight is you have those two sort of left-handers, and then you have that thing. I have to remember. It's so tempting to want to go out wider. And no, I think the camber on the outside is the other way.
It could be that as well. Going out there is real bad. Yeah, the track description info is a good widget to have up. You can see the name of the tracks and look real smart. Names of the corners and stuff.
I don't want people to think I'm smart. That scare the hell out of them. Whoa.
Seems like the front, the start-finish straight has no name on this track. I'm looking at them. It's chicane, then nothing, then Madgewick, which is that kind of evil right-hander. The grass and then more pavement on the outside.
It's the left-hander. It's what I call the second straight. You have the front straight, and then you have those two sweeping right-handers. And then you have what I call the second straight, or middle straight, which has that sweeping high-speed right-hander in the middle of it. But you don't lift, so that's part of the straight. And then at the end...
it has two different names, I'll tell you.
At the end, you have the... oh man, I overslowed because I... wrong corner. And then at the end of that, you have those two... really a decreasing radius right-hander into those two left-handers, sharp left-handers. It's those two sharp left-handers. I want to float it out wide in those, but I think the camber in those falls off the other way on the outside.
Could be. Two left-handers are
I'm gonna touch.
Marys,
I'm gonna touch grass. I touch grass. That doesn't end well when you're doing 100 miles an hour in these things. Actually, technically, there's only one right-hander. Yeah, the camber go... Oh, I see. In the first left-hander, the camber does drop off, but in the second one, it actually is banked correctly, the outside.
Yep.
That's interesting. I never noticed that. Whoa! What a slide! Oh, save it. Nope. Alright, this lap will be a little slower because I didn't get a good launch out of the chicane. You see, it's so... What's wrong with me?
Madrick is a very evil corner.
No, I was just not really concentrating, and I never shifted it to third because I go through there in third, and I'm running a very different set of gears for this track. I run almost the entire track in third and fourth. I only touch second at the chicane. Everywhere else is third and fourth in this track.
Let's see, second in the chicane and the right-hander turnaround. Levant, it's called.
Try third. Well, I don't know what your third's set at, but I run this in third, and it works. It is faster. But it kind of depends on what your third gear's set at. That was pretty good.
That last high-speed braking zone is the only one I've had trouble with the new setup. It's a little more unstable near the chicane, but it hasn't messed me up too bad yet.
Yeah, I don't have a problem there. I have a problem braking into the last two right-handers. God damn it!
Well, at least you're consistent.
I pushed it. I pushed it. I'm just.
See if there's one set of skid marks.
Yeah, no, I'm just pushing it too hard through there. I am finding the limit. That's for sure. I'm trying to see if I can pick up any speed there. I'm trying to get on the gas sooner, and it's, well, you see the results. Yeah, the first corner, yeah, but the second one doesn't matter because you have to slow. All right.
Drifted the whole last two corners.
If it's fast if you can do it, but statistically, it's a very low probability line. Alright, so brake, third, float it, go. Lift, go. Shift, right before the X. Yeah, see, I can do it that way. I've been trying to get the gas on sooner coming to the second apex there, on that first complex, and I push out. The exit of the second corner, I'm carrying too much speed, and I push out. Ow, it's a game of hundreds. Can I get into the 31s? That's the big question. Oh, I took the risk and no. Alright. Alright, let's do it again. I was there. I was just into the 31s. Yeah, see, I'm up. This lap is garbage. I'm scrubbing so much speed off through all the corners. It's not fast, but it's fun.
Listen in.
Whoa. Alright, let's try to do this one for real. Pretty good launch. Jesus, I'm half... Oh, no, there we go. Alright. That's promising. I'm up 2/10. Doubt I'll hold it, but we'll see what happens. Brake early. Just don't slide, go. I gave it away though. Yep, I see you.
Yeah, I spun off the last one.
How did you end up there?
I went out there after spinning off towards the inside.
Oh. I don't think I've crashed there.
I got into a slide going into that.
Oh. What I'd like to try and do is in this final section, I've been braking, I think, a little too early to try to take it legitimately as two separate corners, and I'm trying to push my braking further and further in so it's just one big, long, continuous sort of brake and arc. No, I am being too aggressive through those two corners. It's costing me 2/10. That is so annoying. See if I can do the big long arc. Drop my brake point much further in. Whoa, except it's one big slide. Well, I did it, but I wouldn't exactly call that fast. Oh, but it was really fast. Because I took... Wow. Okay. Oh yeah, that's definitely the faster way of doing it. I just need to perfect that. Wow, okay. 31.7. I'm too fast. I was carrying way too much speed through there. Wow. Okay. Well, that's better. 31.7. That's not bad. I'll take that.
Whoop, touch grass. Crap.
Yeah, Sauce gave me a tune and I made a few little tweaks to it, and I like it. I like that setup a lot. My hands are tired. How long have I been doing this for? When did I post up? 9/11? What time is it now? Holy crap. Almost an hour and a half. We had a race. Sauce and I raced the M5 versus the M3. My M5 against his M3.
They were pretty close when I was testing them.
They're not bad, but when Sauce drives the M5 and I drive his M3, yeah, he demolishes me. It's not. It's the horsepower down the straights, and he is the master of coming out of corners. Well, it wasn't as bad. Like, you could detune the M5. I was actually considering that, detuning the M5, and because the model that I have has it at 540 horsepower, and realistically it should only have 500. So if I pulled 40 horsepower out of it, that's where I would start and see what that would do. That could make for an interesting race. I had another idea. Remember we were talking about racing the different like people's cars?
Yeah.
Well, I was thinking about doing that, but picking one track. So take the track variable out. We could run whatever. GPD, we could pick one. It doesn't really matter. We just all pick one and we'll all learn it. And we might be sick of it by the time the thing's over, but whatever. It's an experiment.
So multiple races all on one track?
Yeah, we would do a series. It would all be at the same track, but we would change cars every week. So the variable of the track stays the same. So we would all be, masters of the track. It would just take us, the thing we would have to learn is the car. And I think that could be a lot of fun.
Yeah. It's a good track that nobody hates.
And then what we could even do is, at the end, get people to vote on, okay, which car did you guys really like? And then we run a series with that car. Something like that. I don't know. I was trying to change it up, because it would, and we have to get all the cars together as all decided on, like pretty much ahead of time, so people can do it. I think I want to run the Mustang. I have two Mustangs, and I have an SN95 Mustang that I would really like to. It's such a pig. That's the only way I can describe it. It's just a stock SN95 Mustang GT 5-liter GT car, and it's a wallowing pig. It doesn't handle bad, it doesn't brake bad, but man, you can see the body roll and stuff in it, and I don't think there's much that's adjustable in it.
Yeah, I raced that against the other real cars last time, and it was the same ballpark as Indy or my Toyo Brew.
I'm going to go back to my old setup. See if my old setup Yeah, this one. Yeah, this one doesn't rotate as well, but I got a sneaking feeling this will also be fast. The gearing, I think I need the other gearing though. This has more of the sport bike gearing in it.
the same kind of gearing last few tracks. It's actually the exact same setup I use at No Sport, which is sport bike gearing, but I raised fourth just enough to not be gear limited. Does increase the third to fourth gap a bit.
Let's see how this works. This is nicer through this corner, I'll tell you.
The inside, exact same place, almost instead of skid marks.
Oh man, I was up. I was up by a lot. What a bummer. Whoa, don't come back on. There we go. See if I can chase you down. I had a 31.5 showing.
This one's tricky. Well, first time I went off there in a while, I'm doing the same thing you did almost. A little too fast. Stay up this way. Pass me quite soon.
I don't know if I'm gonna get you. I don't think I am.
No, we're just gonna be very close in this next braking zone at least. I went in there way too fast. Nope.
Yep.
The last few corners, but that was too much. Whoa, whoa. Permanently wet British grass.
Yeah, this grass, man, you go off on this grass and you are going for a ride.
When I was at that track day today, they told me, don't, if you go off, just try to stay on the pavement. If you go on the grass, a huge fire will start immediately. And you won't even be able to save your car.
Where was this?
That was at Shannonville.
God, I haven't been there in like eons.
We raced there in the G-Wagon series. The short course.
No, I mean real life.
Oh, you went there once?
Long time ago, yeah. I didn't drive. I just was went with friends. All right. So how did I do it on my first lap? I managed to do something right and get up by wow. Like something in the car setup changed after the first lap. Like with this setup, like wow, that's interesting. Could be just concentration on my part. Alright, let's try to get a good lap.
That first corner to St. Mary's, you can take it really fast if you do it perfectly, but if you do it wrong, you're going off.
Oh, you're
really wet grass.
You're screwed. Yeah. Whoa, whoa, Jesus, that went bad. Alright, that went very bad. Alright, let's try a real one here. Or downshift to third, float it, lift, and go. Fourth. Yeah, see, I'm 2/10 slow. I'm doing something wrong through there. No, this car I need to loosen it. It's not it's too tight. This setup is too tight. My other setup is much better. God, when I switch setups, you can watch the whole car come all the way down. What happens if I go to reset to default? Let's see what the car does. Comes up. If I go to my setup and say load, I come up even further. Oh, that's wild. If I go to this setup, whole car sinks down. That's kind of cool. Let's go back to this setup.
So I see what you're doing here, trying to get through here faster. It gives you an advantage, but it's so easy to go off right there.
Where?
Oh, going right where you went.
Oh yeah, you went right where I go. Yeah, you have to back it down. I was just pushing it and pushing it to see where the, where you gotta like not be. Well, that was a little, maybe took a little liberty there on track limits. This one up here, I'll tell you, it is faster to try to take it as one big arcing corner, but man is it hard. If I brake later, like right about here, and keep braking, and then do that. But man, does that sketch me out in terms of like the car crashing. And this one here, I'm like, come in here, and then right here, I brake, go to third, hold it tight, and then add power and try to hit this apex, and then go. I'm adding power as I'm coming to that second apex. Turn in nice and lightly, so you don't slide. And now I am hauling the mail. That's pretty good. And brake a little early because I am going really fast. Instead, brake there Float it, float it. Whoa, I got way too much float, but we saved it. Alright, I did that pretty good. See if I can do this right again. That last time through was not right. Turn in, brake. Very light brakes, and now feather this and go. I feathered that out too wide, unfortunately.
I think you should start that last one further out. I catch you for your corner there.
Yeah. Well, that's good. Oh, I took that too wide. Yeah, no, I normally try to get back over to the white thing, to the white sign.
My car's on fumes now.
Huh. Whoop. Whoa! Well, I saved it, but not pretty.
Might get one more lap out of this if I'm lucky. It's got 1 pixel of fuel. Well, not 1 pixel literally, but it's very, very small. Oh, no, I messed up this lap. I wasn't focusing on that.
See if I can not concentrate on you behind me and do this corner right up here.
Some gas.
Oh, nope. Nope, we looped it. Almost saved it. Love how you can hear the dirt in the fenders that don't exist. I think I'm just getting sloppy. That's what it's coming down to. Definitely safer if you treat those last 2 corners as 2 corners instead of trying to link them together in one big sweeping arc. Because the margin for error in the sweeping arc is so thin. Well, if I could just do this last corner like I did before and pick up 4/10, I'd set another fast lap. But that happening, I don't... Well, we'll try. Well, it kind of did it, but I didn't pick up the 4/10. quarter. Realistically, my lap times are... I screwed up. I was watching my clock. I mean, I'm running really high 31s and mostly low 32s.
Oh, almost improved.
Yeah, if you get that, you're a hero. The whole hero part has been eluding me. I mean, it's not bad. Oh, that's a crappy lap. What did I do? 33? What did I do wrong?
Try something.
You know what I might try? There's 2 different settings for fourth gear, which nets you the same speed, but it's a different gear ratio.
If you use a higher diff ratio, the gears are all going to seem further apart.
No. If you go to back to pits, if I go to my gears, my fourth gear is a top speed of 123, but the fourth gear setup is a 22:25. But if I switch it to yeah, or I can have a 21:24. So a 21:24 or a 22:25 both net me a top speed of 123 miles an hour. And I don't know what the difference is, so I'm going to try the slightly...
Lower one should be faster.
I don't know. I'm going to try it, see what it does. It's an interesting one. Huh. Let me just try it and see what it does. See if maybe will I get more pull in fourth, maybe? Does not feel like it. The car seemed to bog more. Huh.
I'm almost tempted to run a higher first for the chicane. It seems like the second is not low enough coming out of the chicane for me.
Yeah, that it feels boggy. It's weird. It's the same top speed, but it feels more like the engine seems to be like lower RPM. That's weird. But it's still, I mean, I think I'm equally as fast. See what I get to at the end of the straightaway. I'm still seeing 125. It doesn't, it feels like even though it has the same top mile per hour, it just doesn't feel as like it's accelerating as faster. Or as faster. Like it doesn't feel like the 22-25 gear feels like it accelerates better. Yeah, I only use second in one place on the track, and that's at the chicane. I don't use it anywhere else. What would happen if I went 67 and 93? Just for shits and giggles, let's see what that does. Whoa! Whoa! Alright, missed that completely. Alright, we gotta try this lap again. Oh, I totally missed it. Ah! God. It's just getting sloppy now. Yeah, I lose time there, so... Yeah, that's not good. That doesn't really help me. No, no, I lose coming out of that corner. I can't take that corner in third if I have it at 93. That's not going to work. So 70 and 90. If I brought 90, if I brought that down, if I went to 90...
I just changed my diff ratio and tried to put together gear setup similar to what I had before, but with a higher first, so I can use it in the chicane now.
Yeah.
Seemed to help. Lunches are going to be bad, but it will help every lap on the chicane.
Because my first is set up as a launch gear. And then my second is set at 70, and that's what I take the chicane at. And that's fine. I haven't had any issues with that. It doesn't seem to be bogging or anything. The gear that's annoying me is third. Because if I drop it down another click, I know I'm going to get boggy going into fourth. You know what? We'll try. I'm at 92 in third and 123 in fourth. And fourth is good. It actually runs out to about 125, 126, which is fine. That works out good. But if I brought third down to 90, I don't know. We'll see what's happening, but I don't think it's going to work through the first part of the track. I think everywhere else where I use third, it's going to be good. But I think through turns 1 and 2, it's going to be... We'll see what my top speed is, if it hinders that at all.
The gear setup was looking good, and then I messed up the last complex.
Well, I will say one thing. Alright, let's try that again. I have to remember, my outlap is always bad. My tires need to actually cool down. That's how the setup is designed to work with the... Oh, a lot of slide. Jesus, why am I getting so... I have a feeling that's because I go to third and I'm getting more tire lockup because I have a slightly lower gear now. We're going to have to examine that. Yeah, my third, fourth shift now is boggy, but we'll see if I bounce off the rev limiter down here. I just glanced down at my times, and it's just enough to put me off track.
Oh, and 31s. Ah.
Hey, there you go.
I think I figured out some rally lines that help.
Yep.
There are places where you can like float the inside front tire over the grass a bit.
Oh, yeah.
Save time. That's what I've been doing. Yeah, that helped a lot. Some straight up initial D driving. Except instead of avoiding a gutter, I'm avoiding deadly permanently wet grass.
Yes. So it's like the gearbox giveth and taketh away. It's like it definitely helps coming out of that hard right-hander sort of in the middle of the track, but it makes the first sector not nearly as good. Yeah, you can't break that late. Alright, I learned. Yeah, it gives up on the straightaway because I get into fourth right under the power band. So it's like... But it helps with the two left-handers, the end of the middle straight, because that's a third gear corner, and then this right-hander after it is, for me, a third gear corner, and it helps there too. I'm just... Yeah, and then I was up 4/10, and then in the last sector, because I can't repeat my big drift, I lose 4/10. That's pretty funny. I just got to put the final sector together again. So I'm throwing it all away. Nope. uh, I don't know. Here's the thing, but with that gear change, I am netting faster times all the way up to the last sector. And then just the way things play out in the last sector, I'm throwing it all the way in the last sector, in the last complex actually. That's really bizarre. Let me go back to I think it was 9. I don't know. I'll just reset back to that setup. Load. Yeah, 92. 48, 70, 92, 123. So 48. Okay. 70. 48, 70, 92. And what was this one? 123. Do I want 121 or 126? Huh. I'll try 121. See what that does. Whoa. Yeah, I gotta keep remembering green tires do not like that. Catch it, come on, catch it and just keep going. Well, I've never done that before. Huh. Nope. This lap's not gonna net me any more speed. Whoa.
Smack the chicane.
Why is it on a bad lap that I've screwed up? I nail the last section. And then on a good lap, I throw the last section away completely.
It's really hard to do all the sections correctly at the same lap. Ooh, just up that one. There's a lot of time to be saved going to St. Mary's really, really fast and float.
If you can float that one,
I try to put the inside front tire over the curb and,
yeah.
and use the grass a little.
Well, this will be a good lap. There you go. I almost hit the 30s. That little gear change does work. Wow. Wow, 31, almost a 31 dead. That was just a minor tweak to my gears. I essentially changed my final drive to a lower number, and then I readjusted all my gears to be as close as possible to the other one. That's all I did.
I did kind of the opposite. I raised the diff ratio so it has higher speeds for everything, and then brought them all down except for first, so I'd have a taller first that was closer to everything else.
I went from a 931. From a 1031 final to a 931 final, and everything is essentially the same except for my fourth gear, which is 2 miles an hour slower in fourth. But it really doesn't matter because I'm not actually hitting the hard limiter. I'm actually accelerating up to like 125 ish. I have been running a 123, and I think just by dropping that a little bit, it's making it close the gap between third and fourth just that little bit, which means I'm in the power a little bit more in fourth, and you spend a lot of time in fourth on this track.
Yeah. So banging the limiter a tiny bit is worth it everywhere else.
I'm not really even hitting it. I mean, I am definitely running out. I am getting to my max speed, like literally where I need to brake or turn in or whatever. I actually get closer to the limiter going into the last complex than I do down the big run on the, I call it the middle straight. I don't know what the name of the damn thing is. I'm going to save this setup. This was a 130. What was this? What did I run? A 131.0. All right. Back to bits. So this is a 131.0. Save. $121? Yeah, 121 fourth. Oh, it won't let me use special characters. 9. Interesting. What time is it? Oh, it's 11:30. I don't have to be anywhere tomorrow, but... Hey. You know what's interesting on OBS when I'm streaming? I gotta find a. There's got to be a button on here, because what I would like to have is a thing that I could click. Like, I can shut you off, so OBS doesn't pick up anything from the desktop, which would be you and the game and everything else.
Mm-hmm.
But it would be nice if I could also shut off the so you guys couldn't hear me. In other words, so I would only be talking to OBS. And I don't know how to do that. I'm looking at OBS right now, and I don't think
you have to turn off the desktop noises so there's no Discord, and then set it to blend in your microphone audio, I think.
Actually, you know what I would have to do? Wait, let me pull up Discord. Where is Discord? Here it is, Discord. What I could do is... Oh, I see what I can do, I think. Let me move this out of the way. Oh, that's interesting. It all disappeared. Where did OBS go? OBS is there. Discord is here. So if I just... But I could also just mute my mic on Discord.
That would mean your mic on Discord.
Right, so if I mute my mic on Discord... I'm going to try it right now. I'm going to do... Where's my mic? Here. So if I click my mic, and now let me look at OBS, and yeah, OBS is still seeing my mic, so that's how you do that. So I hook my mic back up again, and it works. That's how you would do it. You shut off the mic in OBS in Discord. Just mute myself in Discord, and that way OBS is still picking me up. And in fact, OBS is still picking up the game sounds, but it doesn't hear me talking. No, OBS hears me talking, but you guys won't hear me talking. Because say I want to stream, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And we're racing, and then, all right, so we go into qualifying. So what I'd want to do is turn on OBS, mute my mic on the games, because you guys really don't want to hear me. And then you could if you want. You guys probably laugh at me, but whatever. And because then I can do the quick introduction, this is qualifying for race such and such of the GP Simsports. Tonight we're doing da 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 da, the usual lead in. And then I could unclick it, and then obviously I tell you guys, hey, we're live streaming, so make sure you put lots of F-bombs in it to get me thrown off YouTube. And then off we go. I mean, because I tell everybody when I'm, it's I don't know if there's a rule about that, but I tell everybody when I'm streaming.
Yeah.
Yeah, or recording, either or. It's just kind of common decency, I think. I don't know if is there a rule about that?
If you do that in real life, certain jurisdictions do require that you disclose that you're recording.
I know.
People are saying.
I know, like. Yeah, but is the internet considered, like, what jurisdiction does that fall into? My jurisdiction where I'm sitting, the jurisdiction of, like, where you're sitting, like, does technically the rules, because you're in Canada, does technically
It can get complicated, like if
Canadian rules apply? I mean, that could get really weird.
It could get complicated. Like if you're an American website, you want to have European users, you have to be GDPR compliant for all those European users.
What the hell is GDPR?
It's the thing that makes all those cookie pop-ups appear that ask you, do you want to use these cookies? And they try to trick you into enabling everything.
Oh, yes, I hate those.
General Data Protection Regulation, I think it is.
Yeah, I know. That's an interesting one. Huh. We don't have any European. We did at one point. Were you here for that? We were. Were you racing us? Racing us. You're always racing us. But were you racing with us when we were running Project Cars 2? Were you
No, I've always been on Assetto Corsa.
Oh, all right. Because when we were doing that, we had occasionally we would have, for a while we were having some European people drop in, which was kind of interesting. The problem was one, latency or lag got to be a little bit, and for whatever reason their voice connection was also kind of choppy. But there were some good guys. A couple of people from I think there was one guy from Hungary and another guy from Germany. And they were good. They were cool. Their English was pretty good. Yeah, I mean, it was fun. You don't see the international audience with this, but then again, we don't run, like, because we would run open rooms on Sundays. Oh no, that was with not Project Cars. That was on the other one there. We were when we were running Gran Turismo, we had the race. We were almost down to 2 racing series. On Wednesdays we were doing the regular thing we've been doing for years, and then Sundays was billed as a practice. But then it sort of morphed into its own thing, and we essentially started just running a series, which was did you played that game at all? Did you play
Gran Turismo?
Yeah. Did you play that at all?
Really, no.
Well, they
PlayStation 1 maybe.
Yeah, well, yeah. I was on PlayStation 4, I think 3, 4. I don't remember. And they had this point. There was different things you could limit, and one of them was called performance points, and it was points that were balanced against various aspects of the car's tune and setup, because you could do things like add improved turbos and this and that and the other thing, and then obviously an Indy car has a performance point that's much higher. But essentially we set it up. We found sort of the sweet spot, so you could run a very neutered GT3 car, or you could run a really sort of souped up European performance car, and we had some epic racing in that. I mean, I was getting 20, 25 people in the room, It really started to grow and grow, and then I remember the last night of it before they shut the servers down. We had a huge crew. We filled the room. Everybody came back. It was sort of the final hurrah, and then they shut it down that night. In fact, I think we were online when they shut everything down.
That reminds me, there was this Matrix Online game, and they shut it down when everyone was online.
Yeah.
And they did all the characters just kind of screamed and folded into a little ball. And the whole world exploded. That was the end of the game.
Oh, that's kind of cool. But yeah, no, it just kind of, we all knew it was coming. We had finished and we were just hanging out, and then it just sort of, that was it. It just, everything froze, and that was the end. Which really annoyed me, I'll tell you. I hated it when they shut down the servers.
They should really have to open source those things. Well, not necessarily, even, I would settle for just release the code that it will run on something, even if it's closed source, because at least you have a chance to emulate it that way.
I wish that what they would do is release an update that would essentially make it work like how Assetto Corsa works, which you can set up your own servers.
Your own local hosting, is, if they release the server software, the only problem is from there, if they've hard-coded the IP or domain name, they'd have to give someone control over that, which means they'd also have to patch the client.
No, well, they would have to, it would be a significant patch. I think they would have to redo the, but this is something that if they knew going into the development of the game,
yeah, they could have done it from the start. Even if you assume a worst-case scenario where there's a hard-coded domain or IP.
Well, why do you need that? Because, I mean, Assetto Corsa doesn't have one, does it?
No.
Yeah, so you don't need that.
You don't need it, right?
You would just need to make sure that's not... Essentially, you would have to release a patch or an update that would transform the online portion of the game into something like... Assetto Corsa, which is,
free client server set up for anyone to use.
Yeah, and then that's that. And I wish they'd make that a law, because it's very.
There have been attempts. There was one in Canada a little while ago.
Mm-hmm.
Something to do with video game preservation.
Well, I think they ought to make it. Like, for instance, like I bought the game and paid for a game that lets me.
Yeah, then you should get the same thing.
that lets me play with my friends, and I know in the fine print, I'm sure it says we can take that away anytime we want, but that shouldn't be. I'm not a big person for government,
For what? You broke up there.
I'm not a huge proponent of government meddling with all kinds of controls, but this is one thing that, I just, to me, it's a big waste, and I know they want to sell more products, so they want you to buy, a Assetto Corsa.
It's also like
5,000.
thing.
Yeah, but it's also, I own it, and, I can see that's where they would then go to a subscription model because
you don't own it now, problem solved.
Yeah, the subscription model makes it you're paying by the month anyway, so okay, fine, we just won't charge you anymore. And I can see where that could also be. I'm sure that would probably be the answer, but
yeah.
But it's just a shame, because I love Project Cars 2. I thought that was I know a lot of people hated it. It was way more of a sim than a video game. It fell way over into the sim side of things, and I really liked it. But when I become Emperor of the Universe, that's something I'm going to change. Don't hold your breath, though. wondering if they actually model the heat in the brakes, because I don't know. I'm sure it's just me, but I feel like the first couple of laps, the brakes in these cars are much better, and then the brakes you get brake fade.
James Pender said he was looking at the code of this, and this doesn't have the brake temperature, so it could be tire temperature related. Most of the cars in AC don't have the brake temperature model at all, so it just has max-jiggle brakes that never overheat. Some of them have a basic single brake heat mass that has to be managed.
Well, you know what? It is the tire temps, because you start out with warm tires and they actually cool down.
Yeah, they never get as warm as they were from the warmers.
Yeah, that makes a lot more sense now. Boy, did I come in there at speed. Now, that's interesting, because I'm maxing out at 123 miles an hour with this setup. It is pinning it at 123. The other gear set, I'm pinning it at 125. I think I want to go in and try back to pits. I want to see, because I have it set at 121. So if I make this at 126, is that going to let me get that? Because I only use fourth as a hard acceleration. Definitely it goes bog. Let's see what our top speed is. I definitely go several miles an hour faster. Actually, my audio is telling me it's bogging, but then I look at the speedometer and it certainly doesn't look like it is.
Whoa! It does have the power band pretty high up, though. It's like there's nothing below 5,000 really.
Yeah, I don't have a tack to really look at. I just play it by ear. Yeah, I'm losing time with this gear set all the way down the straightaway, because although my max speed is higher, I'm not getting there fast enough. Yeah, no, that ain't gonna work. Huh. That's fascinating. All right. Back to pits. That's really fascinating. So 126. I wish there was a 123. So is anything maxed here? If I go here, how high can I make this go? That's a 126. That's a 122. All right, so 92. Let's see if I can get this up to 92. 91, 92. All right, so that's good. And that's a 70. Can I get this one up to 70? 70. Ooh, I did. And that's a 49 versus a 43. 46. Well, that doesn't work all that well, but let's see what this does. This might... Oh, cold tires, or hot tires, as the case may be. It's weird. It seems to pull better the lower I go on the further I move my rear diff slider to the left. Definitely seems to pull better. I wonder if it's spreading out the power band. Oh, whoa. Ooh. I did a Danny Sullivan.
May not be old enough to remember what he did.
He spun in one at the Indy 500 down the front straight. Did a complete 360 on the front straight and ended up, obviously going straight. And he eventually won the race. So it was the spin to win. I don't know if this is faster, but I like the feel of it. Well, that was a bad lap. This isn't faster. It feels faster, but it's not. Well, I'll tell you though, on the high end, it's definitely, the problem is it's hurting me on the high end. Let me rephrase that. I am getting, it's pulling harder up to a higher speed, but it's giving away a lot of pull out of the bottom. of the setup, which obviously you don't want. So I got to go back to my here and say load. Yeah, that setup is still fast as crap. I'm gonna go try going the other way. You know that? Back to pits and say setups, and I'm gonna try this load, and now gears, and I'm gonna try going up one. So I want this to be a 23. Can we do it? 23. Alright. And this is a 92. Can I do it? 103. Ooh, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that. Oh, yes, I can. 92. And that's a 70. 72, which isn't great, but okay. And this is a... that's 48. 53. Well, I'm stuck with 53. So let's see what this does. I went the other way on the... Oh, it's faster there. what I'm proving is what I had is as best as I can get. Yeah, but yeah, see, that's annoying.
Better get going. It's tomorrow. It's a long
Is
day.
it? Oh, well,
Yeah.
it's Sunday and I'm not doing anything, so. Alright, dude. Good to see you.
All right. Yep.
Later. It's an interesting gear set. I like it. I like how it drives, but I am not faster with it. Yep. I think I'll go back and play with a few of my other... Go back to my fast gear set. My fast original gear set. Which is this one. Actually, this one here. I mean, it's 7/10, but... I'll run a few laps with this and then call it an evening, I think. Yeah, there's something about this gear set. It's the right balance of power, but it doesn't overpower the rear wheels. I'm still off by half a second. I mean, I'm still running 31s, but yeah. Well, I think that is it for tonight, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know how many people have watched or will watch this in the future. It's a very long video, but I figured I would just stream because if you just want it on in the background or whatever, you know, it's a great thing. But I appreciate any and all the watchers, and yeah, we'll try to do more of this. And it's just me behind the mic. I'm not, there's nothing scripted here. It's mostly just me babbling. So, but I hope all you guys enjoyed, and I think we will call this one a wrap. Thanks.